I think that in any situation, because something didn't feel good before, anytime that situation comes back around, whether it's a relationship or how you handled a conversation or a business opportunity, I think there's always going to be fear associated with what if this happens again? And then that's
100%.
the scary part because we then impose those fears on other people. Like I could say about my own life, I had people around me in my family who, when I was growing up, were trying so hard to be entrepreneurs and be successful at it. And then when I discovered that I had an inkling for entrepreneurship, it was like, no, you go to college, you get your chemical engineering degree because let me tell you, this ain't easy. It's hard. People don't make it. Well, that's you imposing your fear on me. But now, because you've done this so much, as I am making decisions, as I'm choosing to leave college, as I'm choosing to quit a job, I have that in the back of my head. And that's also an inner voice, but that's not instinct.
Yes.
It's somebody else's self-imposed fear.
That's a fact. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We're here. Me and Donni are here. And say something powerful up front. You are more than you've been thinking you are.
Mm-hmm. And you are more than your past experiences.
And you are more than what other people have called you.
Ooh.
That is not your name.
And you are more than the negative thoughts you're having about yourself to yourself.
We can clap that up. This is some good stuff. We're starting out with some heat.
We're in the new studio, you guys.
Brand new studio. Excited. We're going to do some, this will not be the final look of it, but
just giving you a little preview, you know?
Yeah. Really excited, man.
This looks really classy. I wish y'all could see everything that's in this room. We've got the Social Proof logo up here. It's on the floor. It's on that wall over there. We've got some of the greats on this wall. It's really jazzy and sexy in here. You did good, Shans.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got this little table with a laptop. We just had to put something up here. So.
Yes. We're not using it at all. We just needed something.
But we could, if you have a brand, you have a book, imagine your book being right here in front of thousands of people to see.
Brand placement right here.
Little opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Lesson from the week.
Your
number one top lesson from the week.
Let me think about my week. You go first. I have to think about my week.
My number one lesson was,
I know.
A bunch of kids finessed their way into my conference.
A bunch of kids did finesse their way into the Black Equity Con, and
look, they're here. And they're so proud about it, bragging like, yo, I actually snuck in your event, and this is how I did it.
Not only did I sneak in the event, I snuck on the yacht.
I
snuck backstage. Oh, girl, like, yo, Donni, I got backstage. She asked me, Donni, get me backstage. What I got to do? What I got to do? Nothing. I'm not getting you backstage. So she did that. My biggest lesson this week, I have two.
Okay.
One, keep manifesting.
Okay.
Keep manifesting, because when the time comes, what you have been manifesting for, you will get. Number two, invest in Forex.
No, you can't talk about it like that.
And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, you got some investments going. That's what's up.
Yeah, just invest. Is that, I didn't get a rule book.
Yeah, no, it's all good. That's why I'm here.
Okay, got you.
You know what's crazy? I had an investment.
I didn't get a rule book.
Last year, I think I brought it to Joe and Jen. And I was like, yo, y'all can put some money together. And y'all can invest in this investment. You remember?
Y'all didn't do it?
Yo, I'm not going to tell you like what you'd be up right now.
Yo, let's talk about what you're up right now, because you started before all of us.
Let's talk about something else.
Like 6 and a 7?
That's crazy.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about this real. One, okay, my lesson is the better I feel, the more I get done. Better I feel, the more I get done.
That's a fact.
So I've just been focused on like feeling better
Mm-hmm.
and protecting my my emotions and my
Your energy. Oh, you're protecting your energy now.
Yes. Yo, I've never seen King Energy smile so much. But yeah, just like living in a happy space. Back to your manifestation. I want to talk about this, and maybe we shouldn't talk about this. And maybe
I think we should. Oh,
we can.
Should we wait until next week?
No. I want to talk about it now, and it might ruin the opportunity.
Well, they won't see it before I call tonight.
That's cool. Okay, so me and Donni were live.
Well, no, we got to back up first. Okay. So we did an episode about a month ago, and we talked.
More than a month ago.
More than a month?
Yeah, it was a while
ago. Okay, it was maybe 6 weeks ago. It wasn't too long. It was hot outside. And we were talking lightly. I knew this was going to come handy. Yeah. Okay, real quick, because we can see your screen, so just make sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we did an episode some weeks back, maybe 6 weeks or so. And you guys were all there. Many of you were there, where we talked about...
This was... Yo, it's crazy. We did an episode September 2020.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But I'm saying the title of this episode...
Let me see, turn it this way.
OnlyFans for Entrepreneurs.
Yo! Okay, so we've been manifesting. That was September 2020. Then we did an episode maybe about 6 weeks ago where we were talking. Y'all remember when we were talking about Bad Baby, who bought the $6 million mansion, and everybody was clowning her, saying she was going to be broke. And then she dropped her tax returns that stated that she made like $52 million from OnlyFans. And David and I were like, yo, what we got to do? You know, and it was a few of you who put us on to the fact that there are creators on OnlyFans who are making money. So anyway, we talked about it and we were joking like, yo, OnlyFans hit us up. So David and I are on live last week. I think it was like last Thursday or Friday. Yep. And, you know, the spam comments are coming through, and suddenly OnlyFans like sends the hands that do this. And I'm talking and I'm like, is that OnlyFans?
Hands that do what?
You know, the yay, those. Okay. So I'm talking and I just stopped and I'm like, is that OnlyFans? But their verification mark looked different. So I was like, whatever, that's not OnlyFans. But if it is OnlyFans, drop us a comment or send us a DM, because we could have the page pulled up, done, ready in 30 minutes, right? So nothing ever happened. We didn't get a comment or anything. But everybody was kind of shouting out, yeah, it is OnlyFans. So we get off this live, maybe about 30 minutes later, I check my DMs and OnlyFans is like, what's up? We're interested in talking to you and Dave about the podcast. And at that time it was, about featuring on the platform.
Yeah, like they have a creators platform. And I guess they're building out their version of like a Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know their version, but yeah, a creators platform.
But the first message said, hey, Donni and Dave, we'd love to talk to you guys about producing content for partnering to produce content for OnlyFans. And we also have this OnlyFans TV situation. But it was the Donni and Dave part that stuck out for me. So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes, right? So we're communicating back and forth, and we have a call. We have like their team is calling us via Zoom today, later today. But when we got the email for the Zoom, it said, hey, Donni and Dave, we're excited to talk to you guys about Social Proof being partnered with OnlyFans and creating content.
Can you show me the email? Because you said it and I didn't see what you were saying in the forward. Because all I saw was the Zoom. Because Donni was like, yo, this is really exciting. She's like, I was excited about the fact that he said something about Social Proof. And I was like,
yeah, I was like, emphasis on
Social Proof podcast on OnlyFans and OFT. Oh, that's dope.
So then I got really calm because they want the podcast, not Dave and Donni on OnlyFans, because I was trying to figure out, like, where is this going to go? Where is this going? Okay, great. So when they sent the email, it was like, we want the podcast on OnlyFans and OnlyFans TV. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. But I was thinking today. So last night, I'm obviously preparing for the meeting, just trying to like understand the platform. And I'm looking at YouTube videos of like creators that are on there, and they're on YouTube giving tips on how to build as a creator or whatever. So I go to, I start like looking into OnlyFans. Now I think even when you go to onlyfans.com, it doesn't show you anything. It's like sign up for OnlyFans as if you already know what it is or whatever. So it leads me into Instagram. Anybody got an OnlyFans account? You're not gonna talk about it.
All of them do.
Sean, you got one? Tell the truth, bro. Why are you looking like that? So you have so why? That's what.
Tell me about the transaction.
I said, do you have one? He said, no, I don't.
Of course not.
And then I saw his face.
I don't have that filth.
And then he's like, I mean, I got some bit.
You use it for what?
You got the app? You got the app? Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone, Sean. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Let me see that, bro. Lots of things. Business purposes in general.
This is important. I'm not going to show it on the pod. I'm just going to see it.
Hey, baby.
I'm not going to show it.
I got options. For those of you who don't get it, he's an options trader and educator.
You could have just said, options. Yes, I have it. Yes, I have the app, but I'm not going to show it to you. It's okay.
Who are you subscribed to for business purposes?
Bad baby. No.
He's breaking down her business model.
Who are your favorite creators on there? I'm sorry. They're not going to be able to hear you.
Who?
So, Fan Man. Oh, Bandman. Okay, got you. So you're subscribed to this channel? Okay, cool. Is that the only person you're subscribed to? I bet it ain't. Dottie, leave out there alone, okay?
He is blushing.
Does anybody have an OnlyFans and you're okay showing me? Do you have one? Nobody's... Joe.
You definitely.
Joe, you got that OnlyFans, bro.
He's like, I'm gonna sit over here in the corner.
I don't need those problems in my life.
Nobody has it. Nah.
I can download it if you need it.
You don't have it already? But I don't want you to have to pay for it because I want to see the platform. All right. What's up?
Why don't you just go to the website?
I've seen it before, man. I got 3 kids, man. All right, man. The cap is crazy right now.
Yo, how your people and your business partner just putting you out there like that?
Oh my gosh.
I would absolutely. We don't owe you any money though. We don't. You know what I mean? I would make sure you got business contracts with her.
I feel like somebody else in this room got one. Y'all just not. I feel like I really feel like she got an OnlyFans. Do you not have one? You don't have one? You've never downloaded it? You've never downloaded it?
Oh, you've downloaded it. You've absolutely downloaded.
Reese,
you can look at her.
Reese, you don't have OnlyFans?
Mm-mm.
The way I saw Reese dancing at the yacht, Reese got a lot of stuff.
Reese got a lot of stuff. We don't really know everything about Reese.
Reese is a mystery. Yo, so Reese Lightweight reminds me of the main actor from that Netflix series, You.
I don't think I've seen You.
Oh, you haven't seen You? He was different. Reese, have you seen You?
No, I've never seen it.
He gives me You vibes. Like really nice, charming, and calm in person. Like sweet, attractive, helpful. But then a mass murderer behind the scenes. Chopping bodies up and stuff. Like I got Reese having a deep freezer in the garage.
Yo, are you about to download it? You download? I'm saying, are you going to subscribe?
His credit card's already there, so it's going to be quick.
I need to see the page, like the Explorer page.
We want to see inside the app.
I went on there yesterday. I went on there, right? So check this out. You go to onlyfans.com and it just shows up here. It's just like you have to log in or sign up. So you about to
Why don't you Google OnlyFans images and then go to the image catalog?
Well, I don't. So this is a part of my point. It's so crazy. The shot is like really coaching him. He knows the platform.
Just click there, swipe.
It's all too familiar.
Sean, really?
Yeah, maybe you should have just lied. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, is that it?
I can't find it.
Let me see it. You can't find what? So, So we got OnlyFans TV. But OnlyFans, well, just go to OnlyFans.com. Or maybe it's 2 words, OnlyFans. I'm gonna get to the point of the story.
Yeah, because we are 14 minutes
in.
in.
Try to just go to OnlyFans.com. Anyway, so here's what I was thinking in the shower, right?
You were thinking OnlyFans in the shower. This is getting really interesting.
Crazy. That sounded crazy. I wasn't in the shower. Yes, I was. Okay, that's fine. I was. Anyway, so here's the thing. I'm thinking about this opportunity. Last night, I'm kind of just searching like some people that are OnlyFans, and you go to Instagram and you kind of see people who are like got their OnlyFans account and all that kind of stuff. There are some people who have real issues with battling pornography.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have real issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I got this from, but let's say, for instance, we are producing really good quality content on the platform that is going to trigger something for somebody else because you can't get around it. You can't, like, even if you go to OnlyFans TV, you'll see like the images, the thumbnails of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that we be leading people into something that they struggle with so that they can get our content?
Well, is it necessarily our responsibility to worry about everybody's addiction? The Social Proof podcast on YouTube could trigger anxiety. It could trigger depression. It could trigger suicide. Like, we're not putting out content that fosters any of those things, but we don't know what they get when they're searching for Social Proof podcast, when they're Googling what comes up, what doesn't.
So, and this is what I pretty much suspected. So when you go on OnlyFans, you can't get around the major stuff on the page. So let's say, for instance, they're coming on. When you didn't like sign up to subscribe to any one channel, right? You just signed up, set up your account, and there's a homepage where you can scroll and see who's there, right?
But this isn't pornography.
It's not. But if Instagram Instagram would be dangerous if there's a
porn-ish. This one.
There's a lot there.
No, there's not.
And here's the thing.
So here's the thing. And we can actually show this. I don't know if you can zoom in on me. But so these are just images of regular stuff, right? Yep. Nothing here is risque. We see worse on Instagram.
We do.
We see worse in music videos.
Go back. We do see worse, right? But because we know we can go to this person's page and see a little more behind the scenes, possibly provocative.
But you can do that on Instagram.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can.
Yo.
First of all, the close friends.
Right.
And you've interviewed some people on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You go to their Instagram page, it's lit.
Yes.
Okay. Are we leading people?
But the point of the page, so with Instagram, it's not like, yo, there's an option to see behind the scenes stuff, which on that platform is designed for you to be like soft porn. So if Pornhub, right, said, yo, we want you to be creators on the platform.
We are absolutely not.
Right. But I'm saying is OnlyFans, that is, when you think of OnlyFans, what do you think of? Offer it. That's their brand.
Does sex happen on OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Really?
Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year, positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch a podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode. You hype? Calm down.
I mean, I knew it was.
Download that? Really?
Well, I knew it was nudity, and I knew that it was like one person play. I didn't know that there was.
It's paid subscription to porn.
Hold on, you would have to go to the mic because yeah, I'm sorry, I hate to have you get up.
Walk that way.
Yeah. So okay, to your point, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think they're trying to change the type of creators that are on there. I don't know if y'all remember, but I think it was like last year they said they were banning like any type of pornography content or anything like that, and a lot of people got mad. Yeah,
They
and
lifted the
so
ban.
Yeah, they came,
maybe
they came back like, yo, our fault. My bad.
yeah, so maybe they just want y'all to be a part of that, like changing the type of people that are on there.
I get what you're saying and I understand the point. Like, are we leading people to stuff? But I think that when we start thinking like that and start thinking for other people and their vices, like, in all honesty, it's their responsibility to recognize their vices. We can't really think about that. It would be if we did start thinking about that, if we say, oh, we can't lead people to OnlyFans where we're producing wholesome business content because somebody may have a porn addiction. Or we just took people on a yacht cruise with the bar. Somebody might have an alcoholism addiction, right? We talk to people about purchasing courses and coaching. Someone may have a spending addiction. Like, we talk about investing. Somebody can have a gambling addiction. I don't think there's a way to escape it. And when we start trying to enter that space, like, we just have to be good in our intentions. Mm-hmm. I think is the important thing. Like, we have to audit our intentions. I get it and I respect it, but then we have to start questioning everything.
Well, I think the responsibility is when you have the thought. Like, if you have a thought, you can't say, well, let me not think about that. I think maybe I had a thought for a reason. Mm-hmm. And now I have a responsibility to take a long look at my thought and consider the thought.
I agree. I'm giving you feedback about that thought. Anytime that we're putting an alcoholic in front of liquor, which we've done, or a person with an eating disorder in front of food, which we've done, or, people in situations, at any time we're potentially putting people who struggle with something.
True.
In the environment.
But on a yacht, the branding around a yacht isn't come get drunk. The branding around the platform is come.
I didn't see that branding. That was the page, right? That was the platform.
When you think of OnlyFans, you don't think of wholesome people doing wholesome things.
When you think of the bar, you don't think of innocent people not getting drunk.
No, when you think of a club, you think of go have fun and dance. Am I right?
Go have drinks. I'm about to go meet something. I mean, there's a lot of thoughts.
100%. But I'm saying, when you think of this platform, what's the first thing you think of?
Of what platform?
Like OnlyFans. Their brand says you can see nudity, you can see sex, you can see all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
You can.
So again, I'm not saying either way. It's like
you could see. We saw those things on. If you've ever made a post on Craigslist, we saw it on.
But that's not the branding around it.
But it's not the branding. No, so there were pages. Wasn't Backpage like something?
I don't know what Backpage is.
Oh, you know what Backpage is. All I'm saying is I fully understand. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think, number one, we need to have the conversation and understand how we show up 100%. And what that responsibility would be and how we show up. But two, again, we can't necessarily be so concerned about that. The people who have those type of vices need to have measures in place. We're not therapists. Mm-hmm. We're not therapists. And when I say we can't be concerned about it, it's not because we don't care about it, but it opens up a conversation for now. If we make a decision based on that, now I'm questioning every decision. I don't want alcohol at any events. I don't want, people smoking at any events. They were. We're strictly monitoring who's getting. Yeah, I got on the boat and was like, yo, we've got measures in place where we're making sure when we do conferences going forward that there aren't parties hooking up that shouldn't be hooking up, because there were. Like, we got to start thinking about.
Again, yeah. So I get what you're saying because you can go down a rabbit hole and it becomes doing a lot. But for some reason, I had a thought.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
for sure. I feel the same way about like people who create reels and use Future's toxic lyrics. You go down a
You
rabbit
don't
hole.
feel that way.
Oh,
You love Future's lyrics.
Because Future could potentially be a guest on the Social Proof podcast one day. I am not going to go. I don't like Future. I don't like Future because of who he is as a man in the public eye. And I don't know. I don't like the public persona that has been created of him.
Really?
For sure, he doesn't take care of his children.
Really? I don't know enough about it. But.
Yeah, I mean, let me say this. That is the public. I don't like, and I've seen him with his children, right? But there are a few children that it is alleged that he doesn't that he doesn't really take care of or have a relationship with because he doesn't appreciate how other people care for his children. And if that is true, I don't respect that. Secondly, I've never respected a womanizing man for any reason. So that doesn't sit well with me. So I could say the same thing. Oh, you use Future on a reel, you're going to take people down. Now, do I turn up sometimes to a little Future? Because sometimes, before I knew who Future was, but
it ain't before. If you threw on one of your jams, that boy know how to make a hook. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He definitely knows. He definitely knows how to make a hook. But where does the line get drawn? Like he does know how to make a hook, but if I go and now seek him out on his platform leads you down the road of toxicity. Yeah. Do we suggest that we don't play any Future at conferences because we don't want these womanizing men or women to start getting in the mood of.
I think that becomes a little extra. I think that's extra.
Who says? If your issue is being a womanizer, is that extra?
But he's not making songs about being a womanizer. Well, maybe. I'm sure he got some womanizing.
He doesn't make songs about what?
Yeah.
I mean, every song somebody's drinking babies.
Yeah. But Dave, to Donnie's point though.
What in the world? Why would you say that?
Not that point.
That's what's happening.
To Donnie's point though, as somebody, a moment of transparency, somebody who actually struggled and had addiction to pornography, I wouldn't watch Social Proof podcast on OnlyFans. I would strictly go to YouTube only. Just because I struggle with that. And I say, I know how a rabbit hole can lead. Twitter would do it to you all day. You go on Twitter, you're scrolling. And if somebody else likes something, you're going to see what they're liked. It's on your feed. So I, as a man, know places I can and can't be. If I had alcohol addiction, we're going to the bar. I'll catch y'all later. It's, as an adult, we're all grown now. You got to take some type of responsibility for what you're tuning and subscribing to. Yeah. So I wouldn't subscribe to y'all's OnlyFans because I already know what potentially could happen to me.
That's true.
Joe, we got to talk about that because you're going to be managing that process. So we got to figure this out.
No, I won't be.
Stay far away from all. Yeah, I feel that. And I think it really just comes down to, as you all build out your brand, I hope you feel some sort of sense of responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's dope that you even had the thought, for sure. And I don't think it's wrong. My question is simply, where do we draw the line with that?
Yeah,
right? What convictions are we so convicted to? Do we create SOPs for what we do and don't? Maybe that's something that we do.
Yeah. You ever felt something, but you couldn't explain why you're feeling that? Or even if somebody let's say, for instance, you had a friend that was dating somebody.
Okay.
And it was something about that person. You can't explain, you can't put it on paper, you can't make a case on why your friend should watch this man. But
for sure.
It was a certain spidey sense almost. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We just, every now and again, you'll have that feeling so Martin Luther King, right? What was the movie called King? Martin Luther King movie? Y'all didn't see that? But y'all listen off.
You mean the traditional Martin Luther King movie?
Nah, the movie.
Boy King?
No, it was called when it was on the bridge. Selma. Yes. So He gets all these people from all across the country. You didn't even see it. You watch P-Valley?
For sure not.
Have you seen the episode?
I have.
But you haven't seen Selma. That's the show with our people.
Who
That's
said
why
I
you want
haven't
your
seen?
OnlyFans so bad. All right, so anyway, there's a scene where he's calling all these people to march down this bridge. So I think they march down a bridge and it's bad for them, right? They just walk straight into the trap and it's abuse, all that kind of stuff. So he does it again because everything's supposed to be fine now. We forgive you, not forgive y'all, but like the opposers are saying, okay, you guys can march peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets everybody to the bridge and he feels something.
Mm-hmm.
Even though all the signs say everything's okay, even though all these people took off work, they traveled from wherever to come to this bridge, he takes a few steps, looks, feels something, turns around. I think like he might have like prayed or something like that, turns around, no explanation to anybody. We're not going.
Mm-hmm.
You can't explain that.
Sure.
But it's something that he can't explain, say, yo, this ain't right.
Yeah.
This ain't right. And I guess my point to that is I think we all like feel certain things.
Intuition.
Intuition, instinct.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested in knowing King Energy's word. Say it again. Spirit of the Lord. Okay.
The Holy Ghost.
Well, I thought you were going to give me something else. I thought you were going to give me something like this.
I thought he was going to say, look, because on June 16th,
right.
If you add 6 + 1 + 6,
for sure. I thought you were
it
going to go gravitational pull
your
or something.
intuitiveness.
Yeah, for sure. But I think
they're going to kill me in the comments for that energy. They love
maybe
you.
the purpose of this conversation is to pay more attention to that voice.
For sure.
And I think a lot of times, have you ever like not paid attention to the voice and it ended up bad? But in the moment, it's either embarrassing to go against it. It's either, people aren't going to understand and you don't feel like having to explain. So you go with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking to kind of just go up mine. Again, I don't have anything bad. I'm excited about the meeting and I hope it's a good opportunity. And I can't explain why that thought came in my head.
Sure.
But something's tingling.
Well,
maybe it's for me to ask certain questions.
We need to ask questions. Did you write these questions down? Mm-mm. Well, and because you know that my concern out of the gate was, what do they want us to do on OnlyFans? And
that's why you're excited. Social Proof Podcast.
That's why, yeah.
Donni, and they got plans for us to do something.
Exactly. When the initial communication started, it was, hey, Donni and Dave, we love you guys to ... But when the formal invitation came, and I was like, I was excited. I was more so excited because they reached out and we've obviously manifested that we attracted this for whatever reason. And I'm just like, I was more excited because of the power of attraction, right? Like, wow, that happened. And then we're getting noticed by such large platforms. That's just exciting and flattering in itself, right? But when it came Dave and Donni and we're on this live and so many people already misunderstand our relationship, I was interested in what do they want from us. So then when the formal invitation came and it said to talk about the Social Proof Podcast, you've done some background on us. You have an idea of who we are, what we stand for. And now the conversation is interesting.
For sure.
Yeah. They saw David in the hoochie shorts.
They saw the hoochie daddy shorts. They saw Donnie's thigh meat.
They saw my thigh meat.
We can do something.
They're thinking, hey, they bring enough pizzazz, little razzle dazzle, the entrepreneur's way.
There's somebody on OnlyFans getting paid for just showing toes.
Well, we're not showing any of that stuff.
We know.
We want to do what it is. I don't know. I have no expectations of this meeting. I am excited that the platform sees something in us, and I am excited to see what it is that they see.
Here's what I hope. I hope they don't offer a whole lot of money, and I feel a little.
It's a whole lot of money in this month. I'd be like, what do we got to do by ourselves?
Part of what I just said. She just. Whose song is that?
No, that's and I don't who Bia.
So
Bia.
I hope that it's not a really, really good opportunity that makes one of us uncomfortable.
I don't believe that they're offering us money.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my hope.
Yeah.
Because a really, really big opportunity makes it easier to ignore that voice.
That is a fact.
So
an
that's what I'm hoping.
attractive opportunity makes it easy to ignore the voice. And I certainly don't want you to ignore the voice. I want you to ask all the questions to either satisfy or confirm the voice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I feel better getting that off my chest.
But if there is a 7-figure opportunity on the table, I will probably say, what about the social podcast?
David, you've been pushing me to do my own anyway.
We've been talking about this anyway. So I'm just putting that out there, right? Yeah. Because my values aren't as in alignment.
Have you ever compromised your integrity?
I think we all have. Yeah, I think we all have. For
That's
sure.
A honest answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear from somebody else. Have you ever compromised your integrity and it might have been, back in the day. So I was like we were talking about it during B. Simone's interview.
Yo, you were a whole pusher.
What you mean? What you mean?
Weights, and I ain't talking about the gym.
What you mean?
He's such a cornball. No, you talked about in one of our episodes. The teenage or young adult you tried to dibble and dabble in a little marijuana.
Oh yeah.
I think that's non-integral.
No, but that wasn't me compromising my integrity.
You don't think so?
No.
What was it?
It was me doing something I wanted to do.
For money.
Right, but I didn't see anything wrong with it.
It was illegal at that time.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I had morals. I didn't care about that.
So the only way that you can compromise your integrity is if it's something that you actually care about.
No, it's something that you believe is wrong. You're compromising your integrity.
So only you have to believe it's wrong?
I believe so.
Okay, because let me ask you this. So let's take it a step further. There are people who are engaged in sex trafficking who see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But we all know it's wrong. Are they compromising their integrity?
We believe it's wrong.
But they don't.
They don't.
Would you call them an integral person?
So integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. So if you don't have a particular moral system or whatever your moral is, when you go against that, so there are some.
Well, the first line said something about being honest.
Of being honest.
And yes. I think that if you're breaking the law, that's dishonest.
Or you're being dishonest to yourself. So check this out. There are the person who flew the plane into the World Trade Center,
yes,
had strong integrity, high integrity. Because in their religion, that says, I'm willing to sacrifice myself. This is my belief. I'm willing to sacrifice myself. I feel like it's wrong. You feel like it's wrong.
No.
Everybody here probably feels like it's wrong, but in their so for instance, somebody who goes and robs a store because they have to feed their family. Mm-hmm. They're not feeling like they're doing anything out of integrity. Like, yo, this is what I need to do to feed my family.
Mm-hmm. So in response to the World Trade Center situation, I would not say that they had a high level of integrity. I would say that they had a high level of conviction. They were extremely convicted in their belief.
Yeah.
And they did what they did, even though it was not integral whatsoever.
But it says moral uprightness. In that religion, that's being upright.
Mm-mm.
It's not?
Mm-mm. I want to invite you to pick my brain.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine too.
Yours too.
They can
Okay,
pick
you
my brain.
guys. We are so excited because we just dropped our newest podcast series called the Brain Picker Podcast. David.
Oh, it's going down. You get to pick our brain. You have a business idea, a concept. You're stuck. You can't get off the ground. You need the advice of seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs that are practitioners, but we got a lot of people that we've been coaching all over the last decade.
All over the globe.
That got receipts.
Not just that, you never know where your next investor might be hanging out, and the word on the street is we got all the connections.
That's a big fact.
We got all the connections. So if you want to sit down with us and pick our brains
in front of our audience,
and we're letting you pick our brains, we won't even talk bad about you for doing it in front of our audience, bringing your business maximum exposure. Find the link somewhere around here, wherever you see it.
It's there.
And apply
right now
to pick our brain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Well, because everybody who practiced that religion didn't feel the same way.
Right. But
it was a small group of people who translated their beliefs the way that they translated their beliefs, and they believed in that. I don't know that there was a religion I don't know of any religion that calls for killing innocent people for no reason. Whose Bible is that in?
So, for instance, if you go to war and you shoot somebody because they're trying to attack America, but you go to war for America and you kill somebody that's trying to kill you.
That's different. These people weren't trying to kill them.
My point is, how do you know? I don't know their belief. They might think that the whole United States system is corrupt and they're going to take over the world and they're killing our people somehow.
Well, there's a difference between belief and religion. This could get really deep.
There's a difference between belief and religion. Okay. I mean, you have to have a belief in the religion.
Yeah.
Religion is an institution, but belief is your moral compass.
Well, belief is always a characteristic of religion, but religion is not always a characteristic of belief.
Not necessarily, because there are some people in a religion that don't believe all the stuff in a religion. It's about what you believe. My
right, but belief is always a factor of religion.
Yes.
Okay, yes. But religion is not always a factor of belief.
I agree.
So that just brings me back to, I don't think in that situation it had anything to do with integrity. I think it had everything to do with conviction and belief. Like, I feel so strongly about this that I am willing to do something that's so low integrity just to prove and validate my belief.
Imagine a child being groomed for this one moment of sacrifice. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but maybe there were kids being groomed for this, raised with this belief system. And for them to honor their belief, for them to honor and be a person of integrity who said, this is what I'm going to do, and actually do it. And that sect, that is them with like honoring their strong belief. If they don't, in that organization, they're probably looked at as not being integral or not having any moral value. I think we're going to say something? Okay. So what I think where we were in the conversation was integrity is you going against what you believe.
Sure.
Outside of what other people think are right or wrong. But
yeah, I agree. And I feel like the biggest problem is that everyone has different morals. Like
the paintings in the back, that's hard.
Ooh, look at that. And then there's King Energy. Move your chair for us.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Can you move it all the way?
I guess the biggest problem is that everyone has different morals.
He's all right. Let him get a shot, man.
I'm like, of the shot. There's so much room over here.
Go for it.
Everyone has different morals, right? And so regardless of what your morals are or mine, if I believe I'm doing what's right for what I believe is right, then I still have high integrity is what I feel like David is saying. And so regardless of if you agree with it or I agree with it or not, as long as I'm doing what I feel like is right, then I have high integrity.
Okay, let me say something.
Does anyone else agree with me?
Well, everybody can agree. But let me ask you this. So a husband and wife, they're married, okay? And they both are married under the premise of believing in a monogamous relationship. Things happen 5 years later. There's a little unhappiness. and the husband steps out on his marriage.
Yep.
They're dating. He's dating another woman. He's in a whole relationship. He knows it's wrong.
Yes.
He doesn't want to leave his wife and children, but I believe that this new woman that I've come into contact with is right for me in this season. I believe it. There's a connection that I just believe in. We're meant. It wasn't coincidental. I believe it, so I'm going to keep doing this thing because I believe it.
Yes.
And I believe it's what I need right now. Does this husband have integrity?
No, that person can believe that this is the right person, but they have to know that I set this contract with this person saying, if I have to lie to you as to where I'm at, that's you not having integrity.
Okay.
Integrity says, before I do this, I'm gonna cut this marriage off. We're gonna have a divorce, and then I'm going to go marry this person.
Integrity would have been the World Trade Center bombers going through TSA saying, yo, we about to F it up and y'all can get out of our way. But we're getting on their plane. They had to lie. They had to concoct. They had to deceive in order to pull this off.
Yes.
The very anti-meaning of integrity.
But they never said that I'm going to tell you the truth. They never like set no, they never went before a judge or made no commitment to the American state. I'm always going to tell y'all the truth. So anytime I'm going to bring something on a plate, I'm going to tell you. They don't have that. They didn't have that agreement.
Okay. Well, we never made an agreement that the Social Proof podcast might not strike somebody else's addiction.
100%. No, I don't think us putting our podcast on Pornhub is
different.
My point is, if I feel something,
yeah,
and I made let's say, for instance, in the situation with the guy, same scenario, but I made the agreement with you saying, "Yo, we are gonna do polygamy. We're gonna be in a polygamous relationship."
You know, I love how people pretend like not to know certain things just to pretend like they don't know it. You ever? So I have a friend.
Double down on what you were saying.
I have a friend who you might say, "Oh yeah, did you see the Shade Room posted Portia from the Housewives?" And she'll be like, "Portia? Who's Portia from the Housewives?" Because I don't watch the Housewives, but then she knows who Candy is.
I don't know.
You know who the girl. Unless you're living under a rock, you know what polygamy is.
No, I know what polygamy. I just said the word wrong.
Polyamorous. What is it?
No, I know what it means. I just my words get mixed up. Anyway,
all the time.
Are you word shaming me? Are you word shaming another black man?
Are you information shaming me, Donni?
Anyway, if the person, say a man and a woman or a man, whatever, y'all have the
whatever
the agreement that this is what it is.
Yes.
If I do step out,
okay,
I never made the commitment that we are going to stay monogamous anyway.
Okay, so what about the people who were involved in that Trade Center incident who did not believe this should be done, but because of the beliefs and convictions of the people who were leading them, they did it anyway?
Low integrity.
They would be killed.
If you feel something like, yo, this ain't right.
But they will be killed.
What do you mean?
They themselves, for not participating, will be killed. Think about all of the U.S. soldiers.
But you got to do what you got to do.
Think about all the U.S. soldiers who have gone into the Army or the Marines or whatever as a means to pay for college, not thinking that a war would actually break out, and now you have to show up on the front line.
That's what you signed up for.
Are you integral? Are you integral or no?
What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
I am going to the Army because they offered me a scholarship. Because the conversations be real. I've seen those. I've heard those conversations. The chances and the likelihood of us actually going into a war are slim to none. Oh, okay. And then we go to war.
For sure.
That student who went for college thinking a war would never happen in my lifetime that I have to show up for now has to show up on the front line, or he is punished. He's jailed.
For sure.
Right? So they go because either way I'm screwed. Do I lack integrity? Does that student now lack integrity?
I don't know. But you knew you can't be mad at the army for putting you on the front line because that's what you signed up for.
No, I signed up for a scholarship.
You signed up saying, I'm gonna take this money right now.
That's a fact.
There's pros and cons with it all.
That is a fact.
So I mean, my point is, in all of this is we all have this voice, right? And the person who hijacked the plane may have had that voice.
Yeah.
And ignored it.
Yeah.
Right?
I love this conversation because I think to circle back around to entrepreneurship, like we all have to ask ourselves, are we operating in integrity? Or are we compromising our integrity for the sake of building a business and earning money?
Money ain't good money.
I suspect a lot of people, and I'm always telling you, I suspect there are so many people who are compromising their integrity on a daily basis, who are waking up every single day and they ignore that inner voice that says, this isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this. But because then they go and check their Stripe account or their bank balance and they're like, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. You start rationalizing with yourself as to why it's not that bad and what other people are doing. And I think this is very, very important to have conversations like this that we can relate to real world events and happenings and circle back around and ask yourself, am I operating in full integrity in my own life? Am I operating in full integrity in my marriage, in my business, with my children? What are the decisions that I'm making behind the scenes that nobody sees me making?
Yeah, 100%.
Are you operating with integrity?
King Energy.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So, Dave, trust your intuition. Because the Bible talks about what does it mean for a man to gain the world and lose his soul.
For sure.
Right? So if you're feeling this, it's a reason why you're feeling it. This is the same voice that guides you to create this, right?
Right.
Oh, my bad. So trust your inner voice, and that has led you right.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't go against it, but be open to listening because you still might gain something from the knowledge. And you can use that as, okay, well, let's try this on a different platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I have a question. So we keep saying that our inner voice or our intuition never leads us astray. It leads us right.
That.
Okay. Because we're asking, well, you did say it's normally right. You said that. You did. We'll rewind it. But when it plays back, you did. My intuition has absolutely led me astray.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like I can think back in my days when I was a little thrown off and
it does matter where you at in life too.
Don't respond to this text message. I'm pulling up.
I got a question though.
I'm pulling up.
Is that your intuition or is that something else? Like, it's like that, you got like that devil on your left shoulder and the angel on the right hand shoulder?
That's true. And so I think it starts with your intuition. I think it starts with instinct. Like nowadays, I just saw a meme, maybe it was yesterday, that was posted that said something like, when she's out of town and doesn't post a picture to her stories for 24 hours, you saw that? Right? So now your instincts are telling you, well, she can't. Or your intuition is telling you, well, she can't be by herself because typically, I know her patterns and her behavior and she would always be posting her food and her nails and her this, and she's not. So your intuition in that moment could say, oh, I'm showing up to Tulum. I'm pulling up. We've all had situations, and even like just in entrepreneurship, like you may have, how do we decipher between the fear and the intuition? Because we could think our intuition or our instinct is saying, no, we got to stay on this job a little bit longer, or no, now is not the right time. I heard that inner voice. I went to sleep on it last night and I had a dream and it said, now is not the right time, or we're going into a recession and now is not the right time. How do we know? Is there a difference between our instinct and our fear? And if so, which there probably, I think so. If so, how do we understand clearly that this is fear or this is instinct?
If you're at if you're at a higher vibration, you're going to receive higher thoughts. So if you're at a lower vibration as fear, you're going to receive lower thoughts. So that's a conversation you have to have with yourself, Dave. Is this a fear thing or am I at a higher vibration? I feel as though you're at a higher vibration, so listen to it. That's just my thing. Because look around you, look where you at. You're not working at the Cheesecake Factory, right? That was a lower place in life. So now you're elevating.
That's
So
incredibly insulting.
Very.
I'm just comparing the two.
lower places.
Where
Do
you
you
at
think you were
now?
low vibrational working at the
My
Cheesecake
vibration
Factory?
was crazy. It was all the way up. That was some of the
I
most
don't think you were low
vibrant-
vibration at all.
Yeah.
I'm talking about purpose driven.
He
That
was
was a part of
purpose
it.
driven. I
I
mean,
learned so much
yeah.
being there.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't that my intuition now, my intuition then isn't the same. It's not like it's stronger now. I think the decision, I'm able to make decisions based on experience, though. You know what I mean? Like you have more experience. And I think some of the feelings, like so the OnlyFans thing, I don't know if that's based on like past experiences or anything like that.
Does
But
it strike your porn addiction, your previous porn
I
addiction?
never had one.
You didn't?
That's not.
Does it make you feel like it draws back too many memories from that point in life where you couldn't get girls?
Oh, dang. You know, I got to go, y'all.
No, Dottie, it doesn't.
I mean, because there was a period that women weren't checking for you.
ugly.
You used to
You're
say
right.
that. I was ugly. I mean, I tell Dre all the time, she did a good thing.
And what was this good thing she did?
Choosing you.
Yeah, she did. She did, 100%.
She did a good thing.
Here's my thing. So some things we are like, let's say for instance, Donnie, for instance, okay? You're in a relationship? Let's say you were, right? Or let's say you're not. And you meet somebody. We could say, well, there's something about this person that doesn't sit right with me. But that could be based on your experiences of past being hurt. Like something, this can't be right. There'll be like the person is too perfect. And because the person's too perfect, the last time you thought the person was too perfect, they broke your heart. So is that fear or intuition? It's being shaped by your experiences. So I guess it's a hard conversation to have.
That is, so I think in any situation, in a relationship, and he knows the answer to this question, you guys, but my relationships are no longer podcast conversation. Okay, just for the record. However, like
Did you have a okay.
y'all be in my business like y'all know me, right? Anyway, so I think that in any situation, because something didn't feel good before, anytime that situation comes back around, whether it's a relationship or how you handled a conversation or a business opportunity, I think there's always going to be fear associated with what if this happens again? And then
100%.
that's the scary part, because we then impose those fears on other people. Like I could say about my own life, I had people around me in my family who, when I was growing up, were trying so hard to be entrepreneurs and be successful at it. And then when I discovered that I had an inkling for entrepreneurship, it was like, no, you go to college, you get your chemical engineering degree, because let me tell you, this ain't easy. It's hard. People don't make it. Well, that's you imposing your fear on me. But now, because you've done this so much, as I am making decisions, as I'm choosing to leave college, as I'm choosing to quit a job, I have that in the back of my head. And that's also an inner voice, but that's not instinct.
Yes.
It's somebody else's self-imposed fear.
That's a fact. It's hard to like.
It's hard when you're in the moment. It's like I would never be in a relationship if I was afraid of a repeat cycle of things that happened in my past. Like I had a whole man try to kill me.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a situation now where I'm, where as time went on and I'm learning new people, of course the question is, do I let them know where I live? Do I not? Is that instinct? Is that intuition? Or is it fear? In that case, I think that you have to use your instinct for sure. And you got to use the data based on experience that's happened to make good decisions. But I couldn't continue to live my life being afraid, because the inner voice is like, nope, remember that one time.
But some people do.
Some people do.
Yeah,
but then
like
again,
right now.
It's not, at that point, I don't believe that it's intuition. I believe, like for me, as I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about, because that was a real thing for me. People couldn't know where I lived for years, right? For years. Like I honestly didn't entertain men in my home until this situation. Like I just didn't. And that was just a couple of years ago. Like I came to your house, we met in public. I was uncomfortable with you really being in my space like that, and knowing how to get in my window, knowing what window is the easy one to get into, knowing that I forget to lock the patio door because I'm on the 3rd floor. But I didn't think that you would actually climb up the columns to get to my, like that actually happened, right? So as time,
these boys.
it was one person. It was one person, but I had a fear of allowing people to get so close to me, because he used that closeness against me and almost took my life. Now, at some point, as I'm thinking just about my life, there are moments when, for example, I went into a bathroom at a gas station years ago in my club days. After the club, I had to use the bathroom so bad.
Use the bathroom at the club?
No, the gas station.
Oh, the gas station? Oh.
And it was me and my cousin.
I would never.
It was me. Yeah, for sure. Right. But it was a situation where I was
Quick
actually
Trip
going
or
to
like Chevron?
Shell.
Oh.
The one on 14th Street.
Golly.
So this is many, many years ago. We pull up, we have to get gas. And I'm like, oh my God, I use the bathroom so bad. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I'm like, I'm going to have to do it. I have to do it. So I go inside. The gas station is full of guys. Me and my cousin go in. She pays for the gas. I get the key to the bathroom. My instinct said, this is not a good idea. Like I got that feeling in the pit of my stomach that almost made me nauseous. I ignored the instinct because I had to use the bathroom. I needed the gratification from using the bathroom. And lo and behold, a situation occurred. Someone busted in the bathroom while I was in there. Some drunk person who heard me get the key. The door didn't lock. They busted in the bathroom. They're in the bathroom with me, and they're drunk. They're actually high, probably off of cocaine kind of high. They're high. Luckily, I'd already used the bathroom. I'm getting myself together, and they got me, in there. Like they're not letting me out of the bathroom. They're just being that drunk, sloppy situation. And moments later, my cousin comes to the door and she's beating on the door like, are you in there? What I didn't know was the gas station attendant saw him come into the bathroom and said, yo, whoever's with her needs to go check on her. And she comes and she's beating on the door and beating on the door. And his friends, she goes to get his friends and was like, yo, your homeboy is in here. He's barricading the door. They literally had to shoot the handle to unlock the door at that point, because when I turned the lock, it didn't lock, it didn't click. He came in, he locked the door. They had to shoot the handle to get the door to open and to scare him enough, like to have him snap out of it.
How long were you in the bathroom?
It was maybe 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
What was going on in this 5 minutes?
He was just like, yo, sure, you said you mad sexy, let me take you out, let me do all this, and I'm like, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but let me tell you the difference between instinct and fear. This is when Vision was open downtown in Buckhead. So my instinct said, this is not a good idea. Don't go in this bathroom. All these people are around and it's gross. And I had that feeling in the pit of my stomach. I went to the bathroom anyway because I had to. When we were in that bathroom, fear kicked in. I remembered being held hostage by the ex who attempted to kill me. And when I was being held hostage, and you guys can go back to my very first episode on the Social Proof podcast, I talked about that. In that bathroom, I'm now rationalizing. It's a gas station bathroom. There's pee all over the floor. It's disgusting. I am saying to myself, just don't fight. Fear is telling me, just don't fight. It's going to be worse if you fight in this environment. Like, you're locked in here. He had a gun on his hip. Anything could happen. You could end up dead. Just survive. That was fear. That was kicking in. Just survive. And it was my cousin beating on the door that was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, somebody knows that I'm in here. And so now it's clear to me, actually. I just answered my own question. The fear in me didn't give me the same feeling on the inside that my instinct gave me. Like my instinct was like, oh, I hear the voice. There's this feeling in my stomach. I'm nervous about it. But the fear, I kicked straight into survival mode. Like whatever I have to do to survive this moment, because what happened to me in college can never happen to me again. And, nothing happened in that bathroom by the grace of God. This person who I was familiar with was high
You knew the
of.
person.
I didn't know him, but I went to the club a lot, and he was always in the club. He was the guy. He's always in the club. He got the VIP, and I knew his friends though, and so they were the ones who came and ended up resolving the situation. Nothing happened in that bathroom, but in that 5 minutes was another scary time in my life. So now fear tells me that I don't go in bathrooms. I don't like to go in public bathrooms. Is it because I'm really that much of a germaphobe, or do I really have a fear that somebody can corner me in this bathroom and something very dangerous could happen? It's probably a little bit of both, right? So fear versus instinct.
Goodness gracious. Clap it up for survival. What up?
So y'all introduce myself first. Sean Bennett, CEO of Sean on Instagram. But y'all were talking about, intuition and the emotional part of it. And I kind of wrote down like intuition is like a spider sense, basically. You get a tingle like, okay, I don't know, but it's just a spider sense at all. So when Peter Parker gets a spider sense, he still has to look around and figure out what to do. He doesn't know like, all right, this thing gonna come from here. And he still has to look. He still has to see what to do. So I feel like intuition is like a tap on the shoulder, like, hey, like do something, but you still have to look around first before you like do it. And I feel like, because y'all talked about it before with B. Simone, even perception versus reality. And I feel like that's the exact same thing with emotion versus logic. And you're saying versus like what's more important, perception versus reality, integrity versus what's right. But you need both. I mean, you need both emotion and logic, because it's like, well, is this person integral or not? I mean, it's an opinion, because most people think it's integral, but regardless, they are integrity. They have integrity. Like if they're being honest with themselves, whether it's right or wrong, reality of the situation, quote unquote, then they're right. But you kind of need both to kind of live your life. And I feel like most people pick either or. Most people pick whether they want to be based on how they feel versus what they know is actually right. And I feel like there's no line. You have to be both. And until you be both, you're not like really a complete person.
I can respect that. Good.
What I know and what I believe wholeheartedly is that you and I are both high integrity people.
Yeah, 100%.
And if we make a decision to show up on a platform, to not show up on a platform, to engage with people or not, it's because we actually thought it was something that could be very beneficial to the people that we serve. So if you don't see us show up, we made the decision that the risk outweighed the reward.
What if they offers like $5 million to do like poolside podcasts? Where you kind of
Who got swimsuits?
That's there, but that be like inching us into less and less clothing.
No, because I can be fully clothed at the pool. We're just at the pool.
I can wear a shirt at the pool.
You show your thighs off anyway. You know what I mean?
Real.
So you said black people don't get in pools?
When have you ever been to a pool party and black people actually got in the pool?
My friends
All
get
the
in the
time.
pool.
I mean, like, but
All
for the
the
most
time.
part, like, oftentimes black people.
What are you saying about black people, bro?
I'm saying we don't get in
This is
pools.
sounding really racist.
You can't do this to me.
This is sounding
actually,
really stereotypical.
You know what's crazy? I've never been to a pool party that wasn't
Didn't
all
have
black
people in the and people are
I've been
always
to some pool
in the
parties
pool.
where people just did not get in the pool. They have pool clothes on, they just didn't get out. My point
I've
is,
seen that
my point
too.
is just to your point is like y'all can still do a poolside situation and still be clothed with what's a little
them ushering us into their world.
Nobody
I think
can
you're going too
usher
deeper today.
us
Right.
into their world. It just first of all, I'm not very impressionable. I am the rebellious one. I make my own choices, period, right? You're a little impressionable.
A little bit. Probably more than you.
For sure. I am not impressionable for any reason. That's probably one of my problems. However, anyway, I don't believe that anybody can usher us into doing things that we don't want to do. I believe you and I are very inquisitive. We're using a lot of words that start with I. I believe that you and I are incredibly inquisitive and we make good decisions. And so I believe the meeting is definitely worth showing up for.
For sure.
I still think it's dope that a platform of that magnitude noticed us in the grand scheme of the world and influencers.
So that was most exciting. I'm like, oh, big platforms are taking notice.
They're taking notice. Like, you'll know, we've seen more and more celebrities and high level, super official influencers are sharing our content. Like, this is just and we're just attracting that. That's just the journey that we're on right now. But we're highly inquisitive people. We're going to ask all the right questions. I'm glad you brought it up because I don't think that there's a coincidence that I, in the beginning, was paying really close attention to Dave and Donni and then got really excited that it was social proof. And then now you're having this thought. I still believe, though, regardless, that we may need to have a conversation and decide what the lines are that we don't blur or cross.
For sure. Good stuff.
First, I want to say my name is Maurice Bolton, Deepedaholics on Instagram. Thank you for having me. So my question is for Donni. You said that sometimes your instincts can lead you astray. Do you think that sometimes that's best to learn a lesson, or is it just like a mistake you wish you could just like throw under the rug?
I think it depends on the level of how you responded to what you thought was your instinct telling you to do something. Sometimes,
could be your experiences. It's not really an instinct.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh man, I listened to that inner voice. I shouldn't have. I learned a lesson. Sometimes it could be, I listened to that inner voice. I shouldn't have. I'm in prison.
That's true.
Maybe I should have done something different, right? We hear crazy people. That was bad. They're going to eat me up. We hear crazy people all the time on trial for murder saying, God told me to do it. God told me to go in here and commit this mass murder. For the record, I think those people are crazy. There's a difference between those people and people that I respect as mentally ill. But we hear that all the time, and you could think that that's your instinct telling you to do it. And no, you were just, come on, like some people are just crazy. And they want to justify it by saying that the voice inside, there are people who actually have voices inside their head. And then there are people who are just certifiable. And I think for some of those people, there's a lesson. For some of those people, they sincerely can't help it. There really is some type of an imbalance or an issue or something that needs to. And then for some of those people, they choose their level of crazy. Some people choose, and people brag about it. And that's, and what, oh, I'm crazy. You don't want to try me like that. Oh, he don't even know. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. You have to be careful what you say, because sometimes you got to prove, sometimes you'll be put in a situation where you have to really prove that you're crazy.
That's true.
And then there's regret.
Yeah, but I was looking at the definition of instinct. It's an innate, typical, fixed pattern of behavior in animals in response to certain stimuli. So I think the root of instinct is, maybe we're using it wrong. It's like for an animal, like an animal's innate feeling to fly south for the winter, birds, right? Or they're
We're animals.
Huh?
We're animals.
Well, here goes. A nature or innate aptitude, impulse, or capacity. I'm sorry, this human instinct. Like all animals, humans have instincts. Genetically hardwired behavior that enhances our ability to cope with vital environmental contingencies. So this is a genetically hardwired behavior. I think one of our human instincts, sex, right? As a kid, as a young man, let's say, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, they have sex, right?
I hope not.
Yeah, it's kind of young.
What?
You're
8 and 9 year olds having sex?
They are. Nowadays, they are.
They're not supposed to.
Like, kids are having sex early.
It says like supposed to. Whatever. Yeah. My point is, a 8 or 9 year old, like, check this out. A little boy, he didn't. How does he know how to have sex or what sex is? It's innate.
Yeah. Like
nobody said, "Hey, what you got in the pants? Is there like a slot?" You feel me? That's innate. It's innate. What we're talking about here, though, is maybe not innate. What we're
Bring
saying.
this home.
My point is, these aren't instincts. I think by definition, what we're talking about, talking about choices based on past
Yes, but the word that we were using, and I think we introduced instinct, the word that we were using was intuition.
Intuition, yes.
Yeah, the word that we were using was intuition.
Yeah. So I just wanted
and there is a huge difference between instinct and choice. I think we naturally know that we are sexual beings. We naturally feel sexual, and we naturally just kind of know what to do when we get in that moment for the first time. But I also think that for some kids, it's a choice because of their environment and what they've seen.
Yeah, I feel that. The other part of this is our innate fear of snakes is an example. Other instincts, including denial, revenge, tribal loyalty, greed, and our urge to procreate. See? Now threaten our very existence. Our instincts, denial, revenge, tribal loyalty, greed, and our urge to procreate now threaten our very existence. I'm going to do some research on instincts because maybe we're using the word wrong. And what do you say? Intuition was the word we should use. All right, last one before we wrap up.
Yeah, so I actually want to speak about how me and my friends finessed into like Black Equity Con. I want to know if you guys
Hey thief.
Yes, yeah. Do you guys think that was like of low integrity of us? Because honestly, when we were doing it, totally was the right thing to do. Like we had an entire plan, an entire scheme before we came there. Like the morning of, we were talking about we're getting on this yacht. We thought it was the right thing to do. But like, do you all think that had like, what is your relief on that?
I think that it was. I think that you felt it was necessary. Because we'll have events in the future on all kinds of levels. I want to be very careful because if you sneak into those events, we're gonna put you out. No, but I think I've sneaked into events before, or I've finessed. It's not snuck. It's sneaked.
It's not. It's for sure not sneaked.
Look it up.
I've snuck into it.
You can say I snuck, but it's sneaked.
Unless it's right. Sneaked. Past tense. Sneaked.
I've sneaked into an event before, and I did feel like it was a low integrity thing, but necessary for me to do. It was selfish because I was fulfilling my own need of what I thought I needed. Maybe I wanted to get closer to a group of people. I wanted to network. I just wanted to be in the room. It was selfish. It was low integrity, but I did it.
Yeah. It is low integrity, but y'all, I feel like y'all, I look at y'all as like my little brothers and sisters. So I'm not like, like I said, I'm like proud. It was like,
yeah,
initiative.
Did what you had to do.
Like, yeah, you figured it out. You know what I mean? At my expense. You know what I mean?
Well, and that was my next point. So when you think about, the integrity, you thought about, when I said it was selfish, you thought about what you wanted. But you didn't think about whose portion of food were you taking? Whose space were you taking? Whose seat? Who couldn't sit down because you were there, right? There's a whole bigger picture to anything. It's stealing ultimately because you didn't pay for the access, and to access, payment was required. So there is no way that decision was with integrity. It was more so of a risk that you were selfish enough to take because of whatever you wanted to gain from it. Yeah. But we ain't mad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's a really good question. I just like, it's just so dope that you came and talked about it. I'm proud that you didn't feel like you were doing something wrong and did it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, because I even hit you up. I'm like, bro, I need those VIP passes. Like I think I sent you a DM like a week or two beforehand. I didn't know it was a whole yacht party. Cause me and the pact, we go to events all the time.
I love it.
Yeah,
so
we go
cute.
to events all the time, and we were like, okay, we have a conversation. Should we get general admission or VIP? Because sometimes the difference isn't that big. You know what I'm saying? You're not missing out on that much if you don't get VIP.
Sure.
And so we're like, dang, we missed out on a whole bunch if we don't get VIP. And then it was too late. And we're like, all right, we're gonna make it happen regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I understand that too. And we also tried to like make up for that. We didn't want to take anybody else's seat or anybody else's food, which is why we were trading with people who weren't going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for instance, I was just somebody's mama. You know what I'm saying? Like I took somebody's mama pass or somebody's pass that was gonna be there anyways. And but I appreciate y'all either way without, not being upset.
No,
You know
no.
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, we did.
Yeah, but the fact that you got somebody else's pass, I think
balances out.
Yeah.
That balances
It's not
out.
like you stuck on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Cool with
But
that.
I do want you to I want you to, as your journey in life continues, to start to pay attention to the little things, the little decisions that you make.
Yeah.
That could be out of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Little things.
Yeah.
So the person at the register gives you an extra $5 and you notice it. Integrity says, I'm going to give it back. Low integrity says, yo, it's Chick-fil-A's money. We good.
Mm-hmm.
I had kind of a dilemma one time because I would, I go shoot content and I ask people questions. So I asked Wall Street Trapper one of these questions. And it was kind of like, I don't know. But I asked him what his favorite position was. It was a joke. It was a joke. And the position was CEO. That's what the joke was supposed to be. But usually people would tell me their favorite position for real. And then, and then I'll be like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about CEO. That's my favorite position. And then it just kind of be like a little awkward moment. But bruh, Wall Street Trapper came at me. He's like, what you mean? Like, my favorite position is CEO. And I'm like, I never even got to tell him it was a joke. But that's his first interaction with me. And so, like, my fear was telling me, like, not to say, like, ask him that. But then at the same time, I'm like, bro, this could go viral. Like, I'm like, this could go viral. So my intuition was like, just do it anyways. And who cares what he thinks? And so, like, I had a whole fight with that. And I did it anyways. And it didn't turn out that well. So, like, I mean, sometimes you don't really know which one to follow, I guess.
Let me get Trap on the phone.
Because he had no idea who I am.
Trap was like not feeling it. Don't play with him.
No, but I saw the clip and at first he was thrown off a little bit, but he was like, yo, CEO. And then we started talking about it. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. We'll make sure he knows it was a joke.
Yeah, I want to say like a moment that like really, really changed something for me. I was listening to Jim Rohn and he said something. It's the smallest thing, I promise you. But he said something about when you're at a hotel room, when you leave, turn off the light. Because somebody has to pay for that. Somebody has to pay for it. And at first it was just like, that's silly. Yo, if I'm on vacation, I'm in a hotel room, I'm leaving the light on. I don't care about that. But a lot of really every time I'm in a hotel room, before I leave, I turn the lights off. Because somebody has to pay for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand it until I became an entrepreneur and I have this venue, right? So I'm hoping that because I'm paying for it, when Joe leaves, one of the lights on, he'll be like, oh, I'll turn it off later. Like I have to pay for it now, right? But from that moment, I've started having these little inclinations of me being selfish. Am I being selfish? Am I considering other people in everything that I do? Like I used to ignore my voice all the time when I was buying food stamps for my friend. The 2-for-1 is lit.
Mm-hmm.
You give me $100 in food stamps, I give you $50 cash. And literally, I used to do that a lot. And then I started to think to myself, one, the government didn't put this program together so that they can get cash. It was to feed people's families. So I just started feeling these like inclinations. And at some point I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. Literally that very next year, my income doubled. And I don't know if it's tied to that, but maybe it's tied to the fact that I started thinking in abundance, like, yo, I don't need this. Mm-hmm. I don't gotta do this. Like, I don't gotta like steal. I don't gotta like go around a system to make myself feel successful or to accomplish certain things. But it's these little things in integrity. And I was just telling my wife a lot, man, just that like she can be comfortable knowing that I'm not cheating on her. Like I give her my phone. I don't have to like watch and it's freeing because I know I'm not doing anything that would like even look somewhat unintegral?
Non-integral.
How you spell
Non.
Integral.
Integral.
Unintegrated.
That's not the same word.
Yes, non-integral. But it becomes freeing. So I say that to say, just start to pay attention to some of the things. Like, I know my boy, he's in the military, and it used to be if you go to Foot Locker, you'll get 20% off. I don't know if they still do it. If you're in the military, you get 20% off. And I would only go if he was able to buy the shoes for me. This is in the same year I stopped the
Food stamps.
the food stamp thing. And I started thinking in abundance, like, I don't need that. I'll just pay what I'm supposed to pay to this company.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will pay what they are supposed to pay to me.
Mm-hmm.
So one day you'll, and this is like a little different in terms of like, you had to get past because we didn't have VIP. But just start paying attention to the little things that you do that that aren't you operating at your highest vibe.
Yeah.
Right, bro. You can sit over there, bro. Don't listen to Donni.
You do have to remember that you do ultimately reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's just the law of reciprocity. So whenever you're thinking of something and you're not sure, just ask yourself, how would I feel if they did this to me? If someone did this to me? We really don't care that y'all. We're really talking lesson and principle here, but it is the law of reciprocity, and the fact that we have snuck into events and been in places that we didn't pay to get into is probably why that happened, right? It had to come back around. But when
we didn't sneak in, somebody said he had tickets for us. It was just a weird.
I've had some doors held open for me, okay? And I have just walked through like I was official.
The tricky ticket situation.
Oh my God, we had a tricky ticket
but
situation.
It wasn't us. Like, we thought we bought the tickets, but
we did buy the tickets. Yeah. We didn't have tickets though. So at that point, we had to sneak in, and that was integrity because I gave you the money, whatever happened.
No, we paid. No, we didn't have to sneak in. We paid him, and he got us in. It was just the way he got us in.
The way he got us in was really Subway level kind of. Yeah. Come on, hurry up.
Why are we hurrying?
Why are we walking so quickly? This is brisk. Yeah, so anyway, we hope that you really get the conversation, the lesson in this conversation today. And it was deep. It was good. Have integrity. Audit yourself for your own integrity. And there will likely be situations in life that puts you in a position to not operate at your highest level of integrity. Don't harp on it because we've all been there. Like, we've all done it. I used to buy food stamps too. In fact, I qualified for food stamps at a point where I probably didn't need to qualify, but because I qualified based on standards, I got them. But I remember never going back to the food stamp office again because I felt like, I don't need this, right? And I would see people who really, really needed this. I will figure it out. I know I can.
And if you ever see us on OnlyFans and my shirt's off, it's motivation because I'm trying to inspire people.
Yeah.
Because if I get to a point where I can't take my shirt off and it looks amazing, it's inspirational.
Yeah, for sure.
So
listen.
Well, disclaimer if you see me on
and then
fans,
we have to ask ourselves, what can we do with $52 million? We can make a lot of high level integrity decisions.
We can drill oil wells.
What?
You know what I mean? In poverty-stricken countries.
We can...
We have to sacrifice our bodies for the greater good of the community.
We are not sacrificing any bodies on any platforms. However, you guys make good decisions. That's the gist of it.
Donni. Close us out.
This has been another amazing episode of the Social Proof Podcast in our brand new studio for the very first time. Y'all love the studio? Yeah. We really have to create some parameters about who we let in the studio because the space is much smaller. We're going to have to change it up with who we let in. So y'all may be here this week. We may have to start issuing out passes.
We gotta watch this.
Yeah, watch the two.
She's gonna be here already. Like,
she gonna come with hoodies. I got your stuff. Anyway, you guys, we hope you enjoyed this conversation amongst friends and entrepreneurs. Absolutely. This has been amazing. This episode is brought to you by the Brain Picker Podcast, thebrainpickerpodcast.com, where you can extend the conversation and pick me and David's brains at the same time. Let us coach you in your business idea. You're stuck. You need to scale. You need to grow. You need to hire. You have a question. You want to pick our brains? You can do so at brainpickerpodcast.com. Also, this is brought to you by Six Figure EDU. Six Figure EDU is where we develop coaches, consultants, course creators from scratch. So you have an idea. Maybe you are looking for your recession-proof business model. You have information to share. You want to teach to other people. And you want to know, how are these people making so much money off of selling information? Go to sixfigureedu.com. I teach you exactly that. The call to find out if that is something that is a good fit for you is completely free. So sixfigureedu.com. In fact, if you go to sixfigureedu.com/links, it'll bring you to all my resources. How can Donni Wiggins help me?
I like that.
How can Donni Wiggins help me? I like her.
That is
she
the
knows
question
her
we all
stuff.
need to ask ourselves.
She knows her stuff. How do I qualify to work with Donni, and in what capacity can she help me? sixfigureedu.com/links. Opens up my whole world.
There it is. Yo, do me a favor, man. Send me a text message. Pull your phone out. Send me a text, 404-737-4935. Just send me a text, 404-737-4935. You need to know when the updates, when podcasts get dropped. You want to see what I'm doing. You know, I'll be in a particular city or doing a special event. Tickets go out to stuff that we're doing all the time to our text list first. So send me a text, 404-737-4935. We're done here.
You're so shady. You're so shady. You guys, you can also send me a text. I never forget.
Sure.
I did forget. 404-737-2767. I send out business gems, trainings when we're going live, when I'm in your city. Just all kinds of interesting stuff. You never know what you get. I even drop video in my text group. Yeah, I'm like, hey, y'all, it's Donni, because people text like, is this really you? Yes, it's really me. 404-737-2767. Just say, hey, girl.
There it is. Look, man, like, subscribe. We appreciate the support, man. We are out of here. Peace.